Hello everyone. Today I am going to teach you third poem of class 10th, A Tiger in the Zoo, written by Leslie Norris. Students, before starting the poem, I want to tell you something about this poem. You can say the beginning of the poem, okay, so that you can understand the poem in a well way. Students, in this poem, the poet is showing the difference between the tigers living in the zoo and living in its natural habitat. It means forest. Okay, students, the poet is making the difference between the tigers living in the zoo and living in its natural habitat. It means the forest. Now, see the first stanza. He stalks in his vivid strips the few steps of his case on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet race. Stalks it means walks with proud, vivid it means bright, race it means anger. So students, in this stanza the poet has represented that the tiger is bound in his case and he is having bright strips on his body. His heels look like the pads of velvet and on his pads of velvet he walks quietly in his case. He is not happy because he is not in his natural habitat. It means forest. So without showing his anger he walks quietly in his case. Okay students, the poet, it means in this passage the poet is saying the tiger is not in his natural habitat. He is completely locked inside the case and he is having the bright eye strips on his body and he is having the velvet pads under his paws claws and he is walking with proud inside the case without showing his anger, his race. See the next. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. Lurking it means hiding. Plump it means fat. So students, in this stanza, the poet has represented the tiger in his natural habitat. It means forest. In this stanza, the tiger has been represented in his natural habitat. The poet is saying that the tiger hides behind the shadow of the tree for attacking on his victims. Where is the tiger hiding? The tiger is hiding behind the shadow of the trees for attacking on his victims. The tiger slides through the long grasses and reaches to the water hole where the plump deer come to drink the water. Okay, the tiger is hiding behind the trees and for attacking on his victim he slides through the long grasses and he reaches to the water hole where the plump deer come to drink the water. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, bearing his white fangs, his claws terrorizing the village. In this uh, uh, stanza, the poet is saying that the tiger is still in the forest and he uses to move here and there because he is completely free. So the tiger uses to move here and there freely. He should have been crawling around the houses of the humans. He should have been crawling around the houses of humans settled at the boundary of the forest and would terrorize the villagers by showing his long sharp teeth and paws. Okay students, see the next stanza. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring the visitors. Students, in this fourth stanza, the poet is saying that unfortunately the tiger is roaming, is not roaming freely in the forest. In fourth stanza, the poet is saying that unfortunately the tiger isn't happy. He isn't roaming freely in the forest because he is locked in a cage behind the bars in a cage made up of concrete and cement. His strength is locked behind the bars. He is walking around arrogantly. He is walking around arrogantly in the cage and ignoring the visitors. So in fourth passage we can say the poet is showing the tiger inside the cage, है ना, inside the zoo. The tiger is not in his natural habitat here. Okay, he is inside the cage which is in the zoo. Okay, students. The last stanza, he hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. At night, the poet is saying, as the tiger is in zoo, at night, the tiger, which is caged, hears the last voice of the patrolling cars. Then he looks towards the sky. He looks towards the sky and stares stars, brilliant stars that are shining. Okay, at night, the tiger, which is caged, hears the last voice of the patrolling cars, and then he looks towards the sky and stares the brilliant stars that are shining. Okay, students, in this way the poem has been completed, has been taught to you. I hope you have understood it very well. If you have understood it, then don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe my channel. Okay, thank you, students.